So firstly, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who responded to yesterday's video. 800 comments almost. I've been trying to go through them as best I can. Obviously, I've still got some work to do, so I can't go through all of them, but thank you. I also got a couple of patrons, so thank you ever so much for people who want to support the channel and support me and my content. I'm not going anywhere. I will always feature VR as long as there's VR to be featured. And yeah, there will be a mix of flat game content on this channel because there always has been. Unfortunately, though, after yesterday's video, which unfortunately has also been a magnet for negativity about VR, I didn't want that. That's not the intention of the video. I've never said VR is dead. I am worried about it. I don't think it's on life support just yet. I mean, at the end of the day, Valve are releasing a brand new VR headset. If that wasn't happening, I think the conversation would be very different. But to be honest, it's another investment for me, Steam Frame. I'm going all in on it. People think I've got one. I wanted to address that as well. I haven't got a Steam Frame. Flat out, I have not got a Steam Frame. Do I want one? Yes. Have I reached out to Valve to get one? Yes, because I'd love to review it for the launch, basically. So everyone knows my thoughts on it. All I can do is share my thoughts on what I did with that short preview, and I've done that in a couple of videos. Things I'm excited for about Steam Frame. Number one is comfort. Absolutely, out of the box. Even though it's 440 grams in total, that weight is just distributed so well that it's a really comfortable headset. Secondly, I'm looking forward to wireless PCVR. Thirdly, I'm looking forward to playing my flat screen games on it. And fourth, standalone. I don't really know what difference Steam Frame is going to be to Quest. It's got a better chip. It's got more RAM. Maybe developers are going to make use of it. The verified thing has changed now. It was rumored to be 90 hertz and now it's gone to 72. And I imagine that's because of standalone performance in general, that developers are going to struggle to hit 90 hertz. I was excited about 90, I must admit. But I think a lot of people will agree, hopefully, that 72 is a good baseline. Steam Verified is a good thing, in my opinion. It means the games have been tested, the controls work, and it's going to be a minimum of 72 hertz as a refresh rate. I don't know if you saw Summer Game Fest last night. I thought it was a fantastic show, especially the first half. Absolutely loved it. Resident Evil Code Veronica, Alien Isolation 2, both of those games will get VR modded. I've got no question. And I think Alien Isolation is one of my favorite VR mods, actually. I made a video on it maybe a month ago because it's so good. And as we've seen with Resident Evil, what have we got now? 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, all got VR mods. And we've now got Mr. Survivor's VR mod installer, which makes it so easy. So that's going to happen. But I just wanted to address, I am worried about VR, obviously. Literally after, or during Summer Games Fest, should I say, I then learned that Skydance are not making a VR game. Their next game isn't going to be a VR game, which is a shame. Well, it's a massive shame, actually. For example, I think Saints and Sinners sold incredibly well. I can find the number. So yeah, in total, by what I'm seeing here, the Saints and Sinners series, so that includes the first one and the second one, generated over $100 million in revenue. In 2021, it's believed to have sold between 580 to 700,000 copies. In 2022, 125 million to 158 million. And then it basically stops there from the numbers. But the point is, that studio, I think, has been immensely successful with that series. I know people weren't very happy with Chapter 2, said it felt more like a DLC, but I thought it was really cool. I mean, the chainsaws are absolutely epic. And then you got Behemoth. I don't know how much that game cost to make. I thought it was very high quality, especially graphically. I thought the combat was pretty good. They did something that no one else had really done before in VR, basically bringing us like a Shadow of the Colossus style game to virtual reality. I think the negatives of that game was there was only like 4 or 5 behemoths. If you counted the last boss, it was like 5. And I think everyone thought for some reason, including myself, that there was going to be some sort of DLC, some more behemoths to come. But the reception probably wasn't that great. I don't think it sold nearly half as many copies as Saints and Sinners, probably nowhere near as many copies as Saints and Sinners. So I think for them to pivot with the way the landscape or the VR landscape is looking does make sense. It's unfortunate, and it kind of adds to the pile of more VR developers leaving the space. But what I wanted to talk about was why I'm not leaving, and why I'm still excited for it, and why I will support VR as much as possible. I don't want people to think that I'm a negative person. I'm not. I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm trying to share how I feel with you guys rather than just say it's all brilliant. You know, today I played a game I'm going to be reviewing. I think it's next week, and it was so immersive. And that's the magic of VR. Like, you cannot get that immersion in any other technology. And I'm really annoyed. This is the other reason I made the video. I'm frustrated that people aren't picking up VR. And I understand why they're not, because you've got to experience it. You've got to put a VR headset on and actually see what's happening, which means you might have to buy a headset in the first place, basically asking people to buy something that they don't know how it's going to be when they get it. That's kind of a big deal for some people, to throw money at something, because we don't have demo stations anymore. Back when I got into PSVR, there was actually demo stations in video game shops. Video game shops don't really even exist anymore. You just can't go somewhere and try this stuff. So you have to buy it or rely on someone you know, a family member or a friend or a YouTuber you trust, for example. But even then, that's a big ask, you know, because you're still seeing it on a flat screen. But I think that's part of my frustration, is that I've been here since, I don't know, 2017 on YouTube talking about VR. You know, I don't know how many, this channel must be coming up to nearly 40 million views in total. And still in 2026, I'm sitting here talking about how we're watching developers not make games for it. You know, and it's really unfortunate. But what I wanted to say, I wanted to go over the games I'm looking forward to, the things I'm looking forward to. And as I said, there's things we don't know that are coming. We got Gunman Contracts. I can't wait for Gunman Contracts. We've got Forefront coming to PSVR 2, which means a bigger player base, which I think if you haven't played Forefront, you really should. If you're not really into first person shooters, I still think Forefront is not necessarily hard to get into. So you can get in there, play with the weapons, get used to it, and you'll just have fun. I think that's the main thing about Forefront, is you can't help but have a good time. Then obviously, as you know, I've spoken about it a couple of times, is my own game, Exoshock. That's getting better and better all the time. Then we've got Payday Aces High. Now, to me, this looks like a very high quality VR game that's going to be co-op. And again, it's another game that I think everyone should be excited for. Ultima VR, another game that I've played in early access, looked fantastic. Remnant Protocol, another sci-fi space game that looked brilliant. There is lots of games still coming. There is a lot of stuff that I'm not interested in as well. You know, a lot of indie titles, a lot of developers are making games that we've seen before. You know, we've seen many games where you just stand there in a wave shooter and it's got music. And unfortunately, those sort of things don't really interest me. A developer reached out and said to me, did I want to feature his indie VR game? And obviously I'm like, yeah, cool, let's have a look. And it was involving riding a bike, like a physical bike in VR. And unfortunately, I was like, dude, it's just not something I want to do. You know, I can't pretend to you guys that I'm interested in something I'm not. Next up, we got The Boys coming to PSVR 2. Going to be checking that out. So in general, I think 2026 and possibly 2027 are the years that no one should give up on it. You know, we should just see what happens, because we've got no idea of the impact that Steam Frame's going to have. It might turn other heads. Apple is still in the space. You know, one of the best VR, the best XR headset, should I say, I've ever used. It's incredible. It's just so bloody heavy and it's incredibly expensive, but it's still there. Companies are still pushing this technology. And I don't know if you guys have seen the latest episode that me and Bradley did. He's got this really, how can I put it, long view of VR, like another, I don't know, 6 years away from now, till he sees it getting to that point where I guess it's more of a mainstream product. Because when he goes to the tech shows, he sees these companies showing new lenses, you know, showing new technology. Because he sees all these different companies, big companies, investing in this stuff. They wouldn't be investing in it if they didn't believe that this technology, VR technology, had some sort of financial gain in the future, that people are going to want to use it. So that's my point. I just don't want people to think that I'm trying to be some sort of negative person about VR. I'm like everyone else. I have emotions. I have ups and downs. I watched my video back this morning. I don't actually regret saying any of it. And then learning about Skydance, it was a kicker. You know, it is a kicker again. But I'm still hopeful. I really am. And I'm going to be here for it all. I'm going to be here for it all. I'm going to be reviewing them. I just want to say thank you to everyone who responded yesterday. Thank you to some new patrons. I started a $1 backer. Hopefully, you know, that's not too much to ask for anyone who wants to support the channel and my content. I will be doing flat screen games as well. As I said, I've always done it. I kind of just enjoy gaming in general, but VR will always be here. So that's the video. I just want to say thank you and stay tuned, because there is more content coming. I know there's a lot of work still going on behind the scenes. There's some games we don't know about. We've heard rumors that Meta are investing in some VR games, but let's just see what happens. Don't down the headset yet. And let's just see what impact Steam Frame has on the VR space.